Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Twisted Steel Stake Appeal Dash, part of the Speed Dash series here at Darlington Raceway. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Joe. I am Bob, and tonight is going to be a fun one tonight. It's the Twisted Steel Stake Appeal Dash, and Joe, these four-cylinder mini stocks here at Darlington are going to be an absolute blast.
Absolutely. They've been performing all season long, some spectacular racing, and I'm sure this is going to be another fantastic one.
And, you know, this is the biggest track that these drivers race at here in the Dash series, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see how exactly they're able to get around this 1.3-mile racetrack. High banks, high risk, high reward, because these cars, they aren't the fastest. But because of that, they're all going to be roughly the same speed, and we're likely going to be seeing almost borderline super speedway conditions out there for these cars, able to get up to top speeds about 145, 150 miles an hour alone. And it's going to be interesting to see what these guys can do once the race gets underway.
Yeah, it should be fantastic. I also am wondering about these little cars, if they're going to be overheating or, anything like that to look out for.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one, too, that I honestly didn't even think about because, especially if they're going to be pushing hard, who knows if they're going to be able to, to get that, get any air to the front of the car. As we see here, here's the 14 of Ethan Amberg, fastest on the board so far by about a tenth of a second over the 59 of Kyle Holden. I'm interested to see how the cooling is going to work because you see the two openings there on the front of the car, but once you're pushing, I don't know how blocked off it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, only one way to find out.
That is for sure. As you see, a lot of drivers driving some pretty special paint schemes out there tonight, and the race is NASCAR Cup Series themed. And Joe, you were saying before the broadcast, you're going to be a little biased. This Nicholas Cody, Terry Labonte throwback is your top of the board here.
Yeah, absolutely. When I used to play the NASCAR games way back in the day, that's the car I would always run.
It's such a great looking car. Tonight's race, like we had mentioned, is the Twisted Steel Stake Appeal Dash here at Darlington, all from our friend Martin Plute, who I'm not seeing on the racetrack right now. He has already put his lap in. So far, third fastest on the board. But Twisted Steel Stake Appeal by Martin Plute is a rub above the rest. It has a solid punch of sweet and a heat flavor that lingers to let you know it's there. And if you haven't tried it, the rub is well worth a try. He's an award-winning Steak Cook-Off Association SCA competition steak cook, and he's finally revealed his secret resting rub that'll blow you away with flavor. The rub excels in steak competitions, but it also goes great on veggies, fish, pork, and poultry as well. So it's definitely something you're going to want to check out at all of your favorite barbecue rub places. I just looked online. You can find it in a couple spots near me, and I'm definitely going to have to check that one out.
Sold.
Martin Plute says in the chat, can we get the Tokyo Drift theme for turn 3, please? It's certainly going to be interesting here as we ride on board here with the 12 of Sidarius Deus. He's right now coming out of turn number 2, and you can hear him flat out through the corner, 140 miles an hour. And let's see how sideways he gets into 3. Oh yeah, look at that. Almost like he's dirt tracking through 3 and 4.
Dropping almost 25 miles an hour is that's a lot.
Yeah, that is for sure. But you see, everyone has put in their qualifying time for tonight. 16 cars out on the racetrack. And on the pole for tonight will be the number 14 of Ethan Amberg. And it looks like we are, well, because it's a larger track, there are no heat races for tonight. We're just getting right into it. 60 laps here at Darlington. I am already looking forward to this one. Let's take a look here at the starting lineup for tonight's race. On the pole is the 14 of Ethan Amberg. You see him there in the old orange and white Tide ride there with a lap time of 34.249. Kyle Holden on his outside in the number 59 machine. Row number 2 has Martin Plute and Stephen Gibson. Row 3 is Nicholas Cody and Matt Schlosser. Row number 4, we see Brent Allen and Sidarius Deus. Stan Hausman and Philip Scott make up row number 5. Row number 6, we have Zach Williams and Tim Branson. Row 7 is Scott Leonard, Jason Shue. And rounding out row number 8 for our 16-car field is Caleb Bass and Chris Darling. Well, the field rolling off as we speak. This is going to be a fun one for sure. As we have 60 laps, it's going to be a long race. So this is going to be a tough one for these dash cars.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how these things are going to handle this type of track. As groups, anyway.
So we've got ourselves a nice 16-car field for tonight. Ethan Amberg, Kyle Holden on the front row. Martin Plute telling Amberg, hey, bud, good luck. Give him a little tap there on the back bumper. But as we say that, the pace car has pulled off. Field in the hands of the number 14 of Ethan Amberg. Waiting for the green flag to fly. And there it is. Green flag is out. We're racing here at Darlington. Big push coming from the number 81 of Martin Plute to the back bumper of Ethan Amberg. A couple of cars starting to fall back ever so slightly as they make their way out of turn number 2. Still side by side for the lead. Plute gets a little bit loose. A couple of cars get loose. They're exiting turn number 2. Might have had one car get in the wall and have a little bit of an evasive maneuver happening. And these cars just getting wound up out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, Ethan Amberg is going to lead lap 1. Plute now in P2. He's gotten around the inside of Kyle Holden. Got Nicholas Cody behind him. Big push coming from Holden. Here comes Cody as well to jump on the back bumper of the 59. Big slide there from a couple of drivers, just kind of scraping the wall, the old Darlington stripe.
Especially with these cars. Take a beat and get in there.
Exactly. And, you know, in the olden days, the Darlington stripe was a badge of honor. The best way to get speed is to be right up against that wall. And all the cars at the end of the race would always have scratch marks on the back of the car from the Armco barrier, like you see down at a regular highway. That's what the walls used to be, just those highway barriers. And they'd leave very distinguishing marks on the right side of your car. Wound up just getting called the Darlington stripe, and, well, here we are. As we see a good battle here, Plute just on the back bumper of Ethan Amberg. Top 4 cars separated by less than half a second. This race is part of the Highline Diecast Collectibles in-season tournament between this and the Speed Thursday Cup Series. Drivers who accrue the most points in this short mini season wind up winning themselves a pretty great prize from Highline Diecast Collectibles. So big thanks to them for sponsoring this in-season tournament, and it's been making it a lot of fun so far. Side by side here for second. Both Plute and Holden not quite able to get an advantage on each other. As, we say that, Martin Plute blinks out.
Yeah, I was going to say, he blinked.
Plute still lost connection. Oh, that's a tough break. Now is going to be the matter of if he does pop in, where is he going to be?
Yeah, I wonder if he lost internet or power or something.
I think he might have, because he still has yet to bounce back in, and race is going to continue on. A little bit further back, there is the number 97 of Steven Gibson. He's working in the inside of the 13 of Brent Allen. Get a great shot of the brand new 3D fencing that's came here to Darlington. A little tough to see the drivers down the backstretch with this fence.
Yeah, I was going to say. I get that it's safe, but...
You don't need to protect the virtual people here. You just drive through them.
I'd roll the die. I don't know, sign waivers. I know what I'm here for.
All right, you'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. On board now with the 12 of Sidarius Deus. He's trying to track down the 90 of Philip Scott. Really working on that draft there. 136 miles an hour into the corner. Gets a little sideways. Gets that right rear into the wall.
I think it's a little bit more than a little.
Yeah, a little tiny bit more. Had to fall back down 120 miles an hour. And Joe, the weather's definitely not doing them any favors out there. It may only be 86 degrees temperature-wise, but the track temperature is 111 degrees, and that is going to be quite slidey as we see the 12 get into the wall pretty hard there. As Martin Plute has rejoined the track, but unfortunately for him, he's 3 laps down.
That's unfortunate.
We've got ourselves a battle for the lead now as Kyle Holden takes a look to the inside. Ethan Amberg on the outside. Nicholas Cody just sitting there saying, all right, guys, don't wreck, please. Or do, just let me around first.
Yeah, do, not just near me.
Because here comes Cody. He's got a head of steam into turn number 3, trying to push the 59 to the front. He does. But can he stay side by side with Amberg? No, Amberg looking to cross over the 59. Now the 5 has a choice. Who does he want to stay behind and give a little arrow push to? He chooses the 59. So we'll put Amberg back to the point.
How do you think these little cars are going to handle that turn 3? What seems like a slide out every lap.
I think it's going to be really dependent on how the rear tires hold up. And, you know, we saw last week Philip Scott won the race without pitting at all. Here, should a yellow come out, I think drivers will absolutely head down pit road. I don't know if they're going to be making green flag pit stops with the amount of time it takes to A, fill the car, but B, put tires on it. I think they might just kind of have to suffer the consequences here. As now there's 4 cars all snuggled up tight together. So top 4 all spread very, very tightly across this front straightaway. Steven Gibson as well trying to jump ahead as Zach Williams heads down pit road. As does the 478 of Caleb Bass.
Washer really came out of nowhere and has inserted himself into the pack.
He really has. Look at that. 5-car breakaway now for the field. They've opened up about 3 seconds over the 13 of Brent Allen. And I think that might have just been a symptom of the leaders fighting, slowed them down just a little bit. Just enough for the guys behind to pick up the draft. The draft is massive on these cars.
Yeah, what speeds are we getting here on the straights?
Yeah, let's take a look here as the field comes out of turn number 4, 126 exiting the corner. In the draft, we're looking at 143 into the turn. .140 exiting this time. Down the backstretch will be a lot quicker there. 148.
So we're looking at about 10 to 12 miles an hour faster than what they were doing in qualifying.
Which is going to be interesting, especially with these 5 all packed up together in one long line. Their speeds are going to be a lot quicker than just having a single car out there. And right now, this field has widened out entirely all across the racetrack. Here's this lead pack right now. All running nose to tail. We got another battle a little bit towards the back of the pack. Jason Shue and Scott Leonard. These two really trying to work together. They know the leaders are coming quick.
Oh.
As, whoa, the 19 getting real sideways out of turn 2. Some extracurricular activities there. As the leaders fight it out. No, the 5, Cody, gets hooked. Little contact there between the 5 and the 97. They're going to stay together for now. As I'm interested to see what had happened there. Let's take one more look at this on replay. Let's back it up just a tiny bit, too. They're still side by side all the way down through turns 1 and 2. Little tap right there, and they just wound up getting hooked together. Able to keep it together, though. Great save for both drivers.
If they were 1 to 2 feet in a different position, that was a spin out for Cody.
Yeah, just a little bit further back. One car is getting turned off the front end of the other. And I think part of that has to do, I mean, when you see these cars head on, the wheels kind of offset from the body a little bit. You could see them right there, the front end especially kind of sticks out. And he just grabbed the tire the wrong way, and next thing you know, they're sideways and backwards. So we're now a third of the way into this race as the leaders have caught lap traffic. This is when it could get dicey, and it does. Amberg contact with the 19. He's sideways, no yellow. It's considered off the racing surface all the way down there, so we're not going to see a yellow. And Ethan Amberg stuck trying to get going again.
Oh, now he's just not able to.
Amberg has the hot tires too, just trying to get something going. Amberg goes from first all the way back down to 8th. Let's take a look at this one more time. Let's jump on board here with the 14 just to see what happened. So got down to the corner, 19 just got loose, and man, nowhere for him to go, and oh, he almost had it saved.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time.
So meanwhile, up front, we have a battle now for the lead between Holden and Schlosser. Holden has it, Schlosser wants it. Holden gets into the wall ever so slightly, but it just kind of helps him with bouncing off the wall, and he'll maintain the advantage 3/10 over Schlosser. Here come the leaders into turn number 1. He just see how tight up against the wall these drivers go. So nerve-wracking seeing them come flying up towards the wall like that.
Right. I don't even like getting into tight parking spots when there's a car next to me.
Right?
You're over here like, nah, get it closer. If you tap it, you tap it.
Yeah. No, you know, no fear going 130 miles an hour here.
Right.
I want to give a quick thanks to our friends over at Track Cams for Gourmets, providing our camera angles for tonight. You can check them out online, trackcams22.com, as Ethan Amberg makes his way down pit road.
Odie has caught up to and passed, so now he is sitting in second place. I'm not a mind reader or anything, or like a fortune teller, but you know, if you were betting on this, I think I get a cut if he wins.
Let's take a look to see how Cody did it. As we see him, he got a great run out of 4 side by side with Holden. Just trying to make his move. Right there he does. And the pass is made. Now Cody's going to set his sights onto Schlosser. Some fantastic camera angles here. So we got ourselves a great race just before halfway. Still plenty of racing to go. I'm really going to get to see a good view of how large this track is. It's 1.3 miles, but you can really see these drivers, how tightly packed up they are coming through turns 3 and 4 now. Here comes Cody. He's going to take a peek to the inside. They're side by side, 2 by 2, trying to make a move. Cody to the inside. Is he going to be able to make the slide? He does. Schlosser not able to get down to block. Here comes Holden to the inside. This is all about the momentum and the draft here. Cody trying to break the draft, try to pick up a little bit there from the lapped car, Tim Branson.
Branson not taking any chances. I'll be down there.
When this track was originally built, they actually wanted them to race down on the apron of the track, and the banking was just more of a don't hit the wall and a bit of a crash deterrent. But then one guy realized, wait a minute, I'm faster up here, and then the rest is history.
You imagine being that engineer?
Right? Go up to the place they don't want you to race. Why?
No, I said
Trust
that's
me.
where you don't go. I built it so you don't go there. And then, fuck me, I guess. Just, all right, cool.
I mean, that is always one of my favorite fun facts. And, you know, before they had the catch fence all the way around the racetrack, every now and then they'd have crashes that would go up and over the wall and just into the parking lot. Here comes Holden to the inside of Cody, trying to make a move. They're side by side through 3 and 4. Holden is not quite able to make it stick. Here comes Cody on the top side. Holden is going to lead the lap, but Cody staying strong on the top lane. Little slide, little almost contact. Now Cody gets into the wall. Here comes Gibson to try to capitalize. Cody blocks, little contact there. Somehow they keep it in the right direction. Schlosser's starting to fall back ever so slightly. Halfway through this race. Twisted Steel Stake Appeal Dash here at Darlington. Right now, Scott Leonard's picked up about 4 seconds over Jason Shu in the Lucky Dog fight. We're going to keep it right here. This is the most interesting race right now on the racetrack. Cross the line. Let's see who's fastest this time through. Looks like Nicholas Cody the fastest. As we're still trying to push.
See Gibson tapping the back of Holden.
And as you can see, clouds just rolling over the racetrack right now. So that should lead to a little bit more grip. Clouds in 1 and 2. Sun in 1 and 2, clouds in 3 and 4. Track temp is up to 117 degrees. So the grip is not going anywhere, and I'm sure these drivers are very thankful for this cloud cover in 3 and 4. Almost looks like a storm coming out of the side.
Could you imagine if is there rain? Is that a setting in iRacing?
Unfortunately, not for ovals yet.
Oh, that's good.
Only a select number of cars have been outfitted for rain tires, and the mini stock is not one of them. The only oval car currently that can be raced in the rain is the Legends car, just not on oval tracks, only on road.
Gotcha.
So now Kyle Holden taking a peek to the inside of Gibson. They're side by side. Schlosser is caught back up. Still side by side with 25 to go.
I'm going to try not to jinx it. But, and hear me out, these guys are battling real hard, neck and neck. If Holden or Gibson crash out, Cody and Schlosser are going to have to take some evasive maneuvers or be caught in it. Does Scott catch up in that 11 seconds? And now we have a whole new set of leaders.
I mean, I think he could. He's, right now, Philip Scott, the thing he has going against him is he doesn't have anybody near him. He's got about a 9-second gap back to Sedaris Deus. And then, like we mentioned, the 11 seconds up to Schlosser and company. If they were all to wreck hard, it all kind of depends on where the wreck happens and how sideways and backwards they get. Because you see here, the group we're following is the 97. He's got the yellow circle around the car there. And then you see the 90 of Philip Scott just entering turn 1 as the leaders exit turn 2.
Good chunk of time.
Yeah, pretty large gap. As Kyle Holden has an issue. I think Kyle Holden's heading down pit road. So with 22 laps to go, we may actually see some green flag pit stops.
Interesting.
Let's take a look here on the 59 and see what exactly is going to be happening here. I am intrigued to see what happened because this isn't, a typical play here in these mini stocks. And the 59 drives through his pit box. No tires, just fuel for the 59. As we have our camera in his pit box. Angriest lawnmower out there.
Let me tell you, you put one of these on a power washer, you're gonna clean what you need to clean.
It's also interesting to know that Holden wound up, or pardon me, yeah, Holden lost just a little over a lap to go down and take fuel.
Yeah.
So when these three come down to pit, we're gonna have to see what the strategy is.
Yeah, I'm really wondering. I think these guys were set to 90% fuel. You would have assumed that they could go the 60 laps, but I guess not.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting here as we come down 19 to go now, if anyone else is going to have to make their way down pit road.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one of those things. These little cars, like we've been saying, they're not used to these bigger tracks. At least for these cars, these bigger tracks, and they've pretty much been flooring them for a little over half the race at this point. Not exiting turns wise, but those things are floored. I wonder if that really does suck down gas.
I feel like it has to. I mean, you're flat out for probably 85% of the lap. So you're going to use a ton of fuel unless you're, half throttling it down the straightaway or, lifting off early into the corner. But even then, how much is that really, truly going to save you?
Now I guess it's just a matter of time. Who's going to come down and realize, oh, shit, I think he's right. I think we're going to need gas.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest question mark here. As we can hear Nicholas Cody not full throttle there down the straightaway. So maybe there is something to this whole fuel saving thing, as now Cody's starting to fall back a bit. He's fine there down the backstretch.
Just the wall, no big deal.
Yeah, little wall grab. That's just him trying to get as much corner as he can. Now here's Schlosser to the inside of Gibson for the lead. These three drivers have not been able to get away from each other at all this race. Holden, the only car, one lap down. Amberg on back is 2. Philip Scott now down to 14 seconds behind the leaders. Still 7 ahead of Sidarius Deus. So we now have 14 laps to go. Is there enough fuel? Are they going to be able to make it the rest of the way without pitting? And even though the field's pretty spread out, could something crazy happen where a yellow were to come out and, things wind up getting shaken up? 3 cars out of the race. Brent Allen, Caleb Bass, and Chris Darling. Now Kyle Holden has gotten around Stan Hausman. But now Schlosser to the inside of the 97 of Gibson. Gibson trying to pull the crossover, can't quite get to it, but he's all over the back bumper of that number 400 machine. 12 more times around. Don't forget, if you like what you see here, make sure you follow us on Twitch, subscribe to us here on YouTube. Trying to get now to the 125 subscriber goal as the 97 of Gibson makes his way down pit road, Joe. Gibson the next to blink with 11 to go. We'll see how many laps the rest of the field can make. I feel like at this point they're going to have to come down.
Yeah, with 11 to go, I feel, now that they're seeing it, they're like, might as well just bite the bullet.
Schlosser sideways drifting out of turn number 4. Gibson still down on pit road. Zach Williams there as well.
And now, here's a question. Was this Scott's play? Kind of pull the same thing as last week, or I'm going to slow down, I'm going to take it nice and easy. I'm not going to get lapped or anything, but I'm going to take it nice and easy and see if I can save enough.
I think it could be interesting here here comes Nicholas Cody down pit road. That's going to leave Schlosser all by himself. Only 3 drivers have yet to pit at this point now. As Schlosser all by himself, I'm interested to see now if he decides to come down pit road. No, here comes Schlosser to pit road. That's going to give the lead over to the 90 rather, of Philip Scott.
Now it's just, does he have enough gas?
Yeah, does Scott have enough gas? And look who's that. That is behind Philip Scott. That's the 59 of Kyle Holden. Holden is still 1 lap down, but once he gets around Scott, he will get his lap back, as now Philip Scott is the leader. As Philip Scott gets in the wall.
And get glued in there for a minute.
DL Dubs over on Twitch says the gas incident from yesterday has us all wondering whose gas will last. That is true. Here comes Philip Scott getting down on pit road. That's going to hand the lead back over now to Sidarius Deus.
Well, there goes my theory.
But now, the interesting play here. Nicholas Cody and Stephen Gibson and Matt Schlosser, all within a couple of tenths of each other. But we'll see here what Deus does. As Deus heading down pit road now.
Yeah, I mean, is it one of those things where, like, maybe I could ride it out with 7 laps? It might get, I don't know, throw it in 6th.
Right, throw it in 5th and hope for the best.
Yeah, hope they don't catch up in 15 seconds, or I don't run out of gas.
Drone camera shot there. All from our friends at Track Cams 4 Gourmets. 6 laps to go, and, well, look at the fight for the lead yet again. Nicholas Cody, Stephen Gibson, Matt Schlosser. Holden's got around Deus while he's still in the pits. Now 5 to go. This is going to get rough here. A little bit more contact between the 97 and the 5.
That was a heavy contact.
And more contact. Schlosser and Gibson get into it. Oh, what a save by the 97.
Yeah, it's not doing his tires any favors.
Yeah, I'm sure some hot slick tires out there. I guarantee you there's not one happy driver right now with the way this car is handling. 4 to go now. DLW says they lost a lot of tenths of seconds there. That they did. Now 3 to go. On board now with the 5, taking a look back at the 400. Wild to think that they're able to go full throttle through 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's angry one.
And right there you saw the 400 has back end just kind of kick around. Oh no! Cody gets in the wall. Here comes Schlosser. 2 to go.
Oh boy.
Schlosser up to the point. Can Cody get back to him? Such a big momentum-based track for these cars, where the second these guys get into the wall and get out of the gas, it almost takes about half a lap just to get back up to speed, and we're going to see it here. Side by side out of turn number 4, white flag in the air, 1 more to go. Schlosser has the lead over Nicholas Cody. Cody thinks about making the move, doesn't. Both drivers getting sideways and squiggly.
Yeah, really.
Oh, Cody all the way down to the inside. Big moment there. Schlosser, half a second lead into turn 3.
As long as he doesn't slide.
There he is out of turn number 4. Checkered flag in the air. Matt Schlosser is going to win the Twisted Steel Stake Appeal Dash at Darlington. What a finish.
Fantastic race.
Nicholas Cody gets the win. Stephen Gibson comes home 3rd. Kyle Holden 4th. Philip Scott comes home 5th. Biggest movers of the race, Matt Schlosser up 5, Philip Scott up 5, Scott Leonard up 5, Jason Shue up 5. Schlosser sliding around, celebrating here at Darlington. Wow, what a finish.
It's truly a great race.
So we're going to try to get the rest of the drivers into the interview waiting room. But Joe, I believe you've caught up with our 3rd place finisher, driver of the number 97 machine, Stephen Gibson.
Hey, Stephen, congratulations on the podium finish. Walk us through your race and what do you think your biggest challenges were the night?
I mean, I think we were just running fine in the beginning, really, so far. Just kind of just let them run at the pack, and it was kind of unfortunate Ethan got caught up in that accident with that lap car. That was just kind of crazy. But yeah, just kind of just keeping it spaced out, just not making sure I burned it up in the beginning, and then just tried to go for the long haul. I wasn't really losing time per se on the tires, so just catching draft with the lap car. So I just kind of just long hauled it as far as I could. Didn't even bother to take tires in the end. Just quit gas and go. Probably lost a little bit of time on entry and exit, but yeah, it was good battling with everybody up there, pretty much. I mean, I thought the race was pretty good. Just kind of getting door slammed a little bit by Nicholas there a few times during the race. I don't know what that was about, but other than that, I mean, it was pretty clean racing from everybody.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, the pitting kind of caught us by surprise up here. Uh, did you plan a pit stop for this race, or did it also catch you by surprise?
No, it said it on the field we were going to be short regardless, so we all knew we were going to have to pit. It was just more of how you wanted to attack it. I thought about attacking it halfway, but when I was just running with the pack right there and just looking at the lap times and just realizing where everybody was, I just kind of just took that chance and it worked out to my favor. I didn't know I was hoping that it taking so long to take tires was going to really help me out, and I think it did.
Definitely. Well, I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
Um, Yeah, I mean, I'd just like to shout out Kyle Holden for being my teammate and getting this paint scheme on my cup car for the league. And yeah, that's about it. I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting this league and doing a great job of what you guys do.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, that's Stephen Gibson, our third place finisher for tonight. Now joined by our second place finisher, driver of the number 5 machine, Nicholas Cody. And well, Nicholas, a fun race out there. Talk us through your race. Pretty wild battle there at the end between you and Schlosser. Unfortunately, came out in second. But just how hard was it to control the car? Because we saw them kicked out pretty sideways, especially through 3 and 4.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was a handful. Fun race overall. Fun battle there at the end with Matt and Easter Day, but I mean not Steven, but yeah, it was fun. Wish I could have won. That would have been cool, but all in all, good race for me.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun to watch you guys battle it out, and talking with Gibson there, the fuel strategy. Everyone kind of knew. All right, we're gonna have to pit. Were you planning on coming back and pitting later on in the run, or was that just kind of a, all right, well, I'm up front here, I might as well stay up front and pit at the very last second?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't know we had to pit until forget who it was. Pulled it off. But yeah, I was when the 59 pulled off. I immediately went into full save mode, but that lasted like 3 laps because you're not gonna save 4 laps on this track without giving up a lot of time. But yeah, I mean, it worked out.
Definitely. And, taking a look now to next week, Bristol Motor Speedway, the paved version of the track. What are your thoughts heading there?
Thank goodness it's the pay version. I stink at dirt, but I love Bristol. It's a great track. Can't wait for it.
Awesome. Well, Nicholas, I'm sure you have some shout outs before I let you go, so let's hear them.
Yeah, shout out to you guys for the broadcast every single week, for Chris Darlin, everyone at Speed for putting on this league. It's a blast. And for my wife for letting me sneak away for a couple hours every Tuesday and Thursday nights to race with these guys.
Awesome. Well, Nicholas, again, congrats there on the second place finish, and looking forward to chatting with you next week at Bristol.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
All right, that's Nicholas Cody, and now joining us in the booth is going to be our winner, Matt Schlosser. He's with Joe.
Hey, Matt, congratulations on the win. How does it feel to take home the checkered flag here?
Hey, thank you. Feels awesome. It was a really fun race. Had a blast racing with those guys. And it's my first win in the speed league, so that feels pretty cool too. So awesome day.
Yeah, I mean, you had a pretty strong performance out there. You kind of were in mid pack, and then you kind of came out of nowhere, caught up quick to the leaders, and then kind of stuck out the whole race. What was kind of your key there?
Yeah, I didn't get a lot of practice, so I had to feel out the track in the car a little bit. I was watching those guys racing in front of me, and it looked like the draft was obviously a big thing. if you tried to make passes and you didn't pull them off, you would probably lose a position instead of gaining it. So it was kind of about keeping your momentum up. I feel like maybe the best way to pass was to get a good run out of 2 and then kind of pull a slider going into 3 and slide up in front. But the tires definitely started to wear out, and that made things tough. The right rear was like just liquid by the end of that race, and it was another thing you had to do is keep it out of the wall. It was easy to slide up into the wall on the hot tires, and I did that a couple times, lost some time. So I think it was key not to do that at the end and just be there at the end. I had a really cool battle with Nicholas and Steven there right at the end, and I thought we were going to be side by side going into the 3rd turn, but I think Nicholas got a little loose or just lost some speed, and I was able to clear him. But if not that, we were going to be side by side. It was going to be pretty cool to see what happened there. But yeah, it was all in all, it worked out. Didn't mess up the pit stop either, which was good. So ended up working out.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
Yeah, sure. Shout out to you guys for the broadcast. Shout out to the Speed admin team for putting on this league on both Tuesdays and Thursdays. And shout out to all the guys I was racing around. That was really fun. Clean racing, good hard battles. It's always fun when you can have battles like that and get to the end together. And maybe we would have had like a 5-car battle for the win if it wasn't for just some people having bad luck. I think maybe, I don't know if guys had pit problems or what, but yeah, shout out to those guys. And yeah, that's all I got.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you. Talk to you next time.
All right, that will just about do it for our interviews here for tonight. Let's take a look now at the final results for the Twisted Steel Stake Appeal Dash here at Darlington. Matt Schlosser gets the win over Nicholas Cody and Steven Gibson. Kyle Holden comes home 4th, Philip Scott in 5th. Ethan Amberg comes home 6th, Sidarius Deus in 7th, Scott Leonard, first car, 1 lap down in 8th. Jason Shue comes home 9th. Tim Branson in 10th. Martin Plute, after having some connection issues, finishes in 11th. Stan Hausman comes home 12th. Zach Williams in 13th. And out of the race are Brent Allen, Caleb Bass, and Chris Darling. Well, you could join us next week for the Total Nonstop Racing League at Atlanta Motor Speedway. That is going to kick off Monday night right around 8:30 Eastern, right here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network. It's always a fun time. And then next Tuesday night here, 9:15 Eastern, as the Speed Dash Series hits the high banks of Bristol. But until then, for one final time, I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
And this has been the Twisted Steel Stake Appeal Dash at Darlington. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.